This is the debate that I've been having with certain fans. Do you feel who's the greatest of all time, Hamilton or Schumacher?
Oh, it's a question and a half, that one.
But then some people go to Senna.
Well, some people should go to Senna, and some people should go to Jim Clark as well, and not discount drivers like Jim Clark, who like Senna, were tragically taken from us way before their time. And who knows how many titles
even Lauda, the way how to build the car up.
Yeah, well, absolutely. There's an argument for many drivers being the greatest, but I tend to go on stats, and I use stats to form the basis of an argument. And statistically,
you hear that quite a lot in the commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's done this, he's done this, he's done that.
Well, you know, I try and tell the narrative as a commentator of what's going on the track, but then add things that you guys might remember and might like, and aids your
from a fellow West Ham supporter.
David, is London claret and blue? London's always been claret and blue.
Oh,
yeah?
don't.
Apart from the bits of Surrey that are Man United. But no, it's always been claret and blue, really. The East End is claret and blue, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Like I said, I feel it's a personal choice. I feel it's a preference choice. Schumacher, probably he was racing and probably harder because of the development technology, maybe because the cars were a bit harder to drive back then. But then you had certain aids, like they had their own traction control because you couldn't really pick up if people were using it or not. So, back in before all sensors came in, but
I think what I'd like to say, Stephen, is that I admire Michael Schumacher greatly. I think what he did for Benetton and for Ferrari, and eventually for Formula One, was to raise the standard even higher, and to force those that came after him to be that much better if they wanted to emulate him. In the same
way,
it's
the funny thing, when he left after 2006, Raikkonen went to obviously Ferrari, who left McLaren, and then who came into McLaren? Lewis Hamilton. And then in 2012 he left, and Hamilton went into Mercedes, and the rest is history. So
it's a very good point. You know, what Michael did with Mercedes when he went there was to lay the groundwork with Ross Brawn, with Nico Rosberg, and with a hugely talented team at Brackley and Brixworth, to see the domination that we have done in recent years. To me, Lewis Hamilton shades it. I think Formula One is a hugely competitive sport now. He's never had a number two driver alongside him. He's always had drivers that compete equally with him, and has had to beat them on sheer ability alone. And the stat that stands out for me with Lewis is the one that no other driver in Formula One history has won at least one race in every single full season they've competed in. And he's not always had the best car. You know, in the McLaren days.
A good example.
Oh, absolutely. And his first year at Mercedes as well. It wasn't the best car, but he has always won at least one race. And you don't do that by just lucking into the right car all the time. You can, but he hasn't. And that to me just sets him a little bit ahead of Michael Schumacher. But, you know,